Welcome back to Desert Garage. If you remember quite a while ago, I made a video about that engine, the Ken engine for the Escort, and it was dead seized. So I kind of just gave up on it, called it a fail. I decided to tear the rest of it down, and I got all the pistons out. I ended up destroying 2 of them and trying to get them out with a sledgehammer. But it seems that the cylinder bores are just fine. They need a hone, but I don't feel any ridges, any scrapes, anything bad in the cylinders, so I think the block is going to be fine. I'm going to try to hone it and see what happens, but I think it's good. I'm going to need more pistons. The rods are really rusty on the outside, and I don't really want to use them in that when they're like that, so I'm going to try to get a set of pistons and rods and bearings. Have a look at the crank if I can clean that up, because on second inspection it didn't look all that bad, as much as I thought it was. So I'm going to try that, and hopefully. So here it is again after working on it a little bit. Now, I did hone the cylinders, put the oil pump and the crank in the parts washer, had a look at them, and they were actually okay enough that I could use them. The rust I saw was, well, it wasn't intrusive into the crank, so I could just wash it off. Seems to have come from something else, probably the rods. All the other gunk was just washed off. Then I ended up taking the cam out. When I got that out, I figured I could just clean that one too, which I could, amazingly. I don't really know how that worked. Put it back in, and I put the cover back on along with the timing gear and all that, so I have the crank and the cam timed up. Put the distributor and all this stuff back on, fuel pump, oil pump, and oil pressure sender. And I also had my brother help me. Well, he just suddenly showed up and helped me pull the piston rings off the number 3 and 4 piston, because those are the 2 pistons that I still have, because I broke 2 and, well, yeah, like I said, I definitely broke number 2 in getting it out. I hit the top off of it, and number 1, well, I severely damaged that one too. So this is number 4, number 3 is sitting up here. Those 2 have been washed and gotten the rings all out. I could possibly pull the rings out of number 1 if I need to. So, well, my plan was for now was actually to walk over here and start on the head. So, of course, this is the inside, well, the downside of a Ford Kent crossbow head. Completely flat because the bolts are in the pistons, combustion chambers are in pistons. They were called BIP engines because they had the bolt in piston. Got all the valves out. None of them are really stuck too badly, so I don't think that the bores are too bad. Or the valve guides, I should say. You see how this looks. It's not pretty. But I think we could probably get this cleaned up. So I'm going to start with a wire wheel brush on the drill and just go over this. Then might go over to something a bit more coarse. I'll do the same thing to the top of the block to get that clean. And then we should probably go through all these gasket mating surfaces for the manifolds. And then valves. We also have to go through the valves and cut them to this. So let's just get started. So there we go. Got the entire head cleaned up, at least on the bottom side, and I got most of the crap cleaned out of the valve seats. So let's see if we can do something about the mating surfaces for the exhaust and intake manifold. Alright, so well then there's that done. This side didn't get that much better, but it got better. And this thing got a lot better. Got that gasket off. It's not really usable, but so get it off in one piece. So well, we can start doing valves now. Of course, when doing valves, now I've already taken the number 1 exhaust valve from over there. Put all these in order, so it's that one, 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 and that one. Took that number 1 exhaust valve, tried to dry it off with paper first because it was real cruddy, but that didn't work, so I took the drill and the wire wheel brush and just went over it, so that's nice and ready now. So we'll have to put this head up on its side now because the valve doesn't want to go through, or I can just pull it so that sticks out here. Mosquito. And then put the paste on this and grind it a bit. So I found all the things I need: fine and coarse paste, one of those suction cups to put on the valve, and I've already put some coarse paste on this valve. As you can see, I'm turning it with my hand. This is the kind of thing we're going to be doing just with this thing. So we've done this one with coarse only. It turned out pretty good, so we're going to put on the fine paste and then just continue doing the same, and then the rest of them. And the result got a lot better right away. So we're going to put this one back in and continue with the rest. So there we go, I'm done with all the valves, and as you saw, I burnt out all the crap from the exhaust and intake ports, which took care of a lot of the rust. Of course, you can still see rust in here. That's just because I burnt off all the bad stuff on the top, because rust is, well, flammable. This one still has a lot in it. So does this one, but that is what I'm going to do with Dremel and wire wheel to start with, and then I'll see if I need more. But all the exhaust ports are pretty good. All this is good. Now this place is full of smoke, so might take a break. As you can see, this is, yeah, smoky. Even over here, it's all full of smoke in here. So I'm done with the head for now. I'll just slot the valves back in. It's really warm. Slot the valves back in, leave it sitting like this. Then I'll bring that drill and the wire wheel over to the block and do the top of the engine, and then get those pistons in. So like you saw, I let it air out a little bit in here, and took the wire wheel and went over the top of the block, also the side, and got a lot of the dirt off. Also did the same thing with some of the timing cover and this thing. Then put piston rings onto number 4, slide number 4 in there. So now we're just going to tighten these two to 31 to 35 pound-feet. Then we'll do the same thing with number 3. 2 and 1, I don't have them. Well, they're here, but one is busted to pieces and the other one is, well, pretty much the same, just on the bottom. So I'm not going to do those yet. I'm going to do 3 and 4, slide it all in, then, well, see what happens later. If I can get any parts. So let's just begin. So there we have it. Piston 4 and 3 are in their bores. 2 and 1, well, I'll have to wait for parts. So I'm going to clean up all this mess and get on to doing other things. So then we'll call it on this video with this nice little engine. I'll be back later with a new video on this thing, maybe something else. I'm thinking of going over there and doing something else now. And you can, as always, like, comment, and subscribe down below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.